Time and space are exclusively linked. The concept of time travel is that you are moving through time by moving through space, whereas you could travel to the past or go to the future. The origins of time travel are yet unknown since many of early literature and scientific works have elements that propose the possibility of time travel. It is initially believed that it came through science fiction and not scientific theory. This changed once Albert Einstein in 1908 published his theory of relativity that explained how time travel is possible. This also raises the claim that there is nothing in the laws of physics that dismiss the possibility of time travels. The theory of relativity by Einstein has two branches, one called special relativity, which contributes more to the concept of traveling to the future, while the second part of this theory, general relativity, contributes to the concept of traveling to the past. The particles of light called photons project what we see and decide the time it takes to see it. For example, as you all know, it takes the sun's rays 7.2 minutes to travel to the Earth. Thus, whenever you look at the sun, you are actually looking at the past. This is the same with the stars you count in the sky, which might have died thousands of years ago. This theory deals with the concept of time and space as viewed by observers moving relative to one another with uniform velocities. Einstein concluded that the speed of light is the same for all observers, disregarding their motion relative to the light source. This means that the light always travels at a constant rate. Let us look at a clip explaining Einstein's theory of relativity and how it directly contributes to the idea of time traveling.
Einstein's big idea was that the amazing speed of light holds the key to everything, from the untold power of the atom to the possibility of time travel. To follow in the footsteps of his genius, imagine the great scientist in a rocket ship, floating in deep space. The ship has powerful headlights, and when Albert switches them on, the light races away from him at, of course, the speed of light, 670 million miles an hour. Now imagine that Albert has a twin brother, Bertrand, who also has a spaceship. Let's say Bertrand flies away from Albert at half the speed of light. When Albert turns on his headlights, how fast would they seem to be going when they overtake Bertrand? You'd think he would see them pass by relatively slowly, like a faster car passing you on the highway. But that's not the way light works. Instead, Bertrand would see Albert's high beams pass him at the full speed of light. Bertrand's own speed makes absolutely no difference.
This prediction of Einstein that the speed of light is the same for everyone is one of the strangest in physics. But it's true. It's been shown by hundreds of experiments. The speed of light is going to be the same, no matter how fast you're moving towards it or away from it.
Even if Bertrand turns around and travels head-on towards Albert, he would still see Albert's headlights pass him at the same speed. So what's going on? Welcome to the realm of time travel. If both brothers see light moving at the same speed, then something else must be changing. That something is time.
Something has to give, and the things that have to give are space and time. It turns out that if an object is moving fast enough through space, it can alter its passage through time.
There are many scientific and philosophical speculations on the means of time traveling. One thing is for sure though, with the world's infinite continuum, it may one day be possible to have breakfast at the Pharaohs and dinner at the Jetsons. The most common belief of how time traveling to the past can happen is based on the concept of racing faster than the speed of light to the other end of the Milky Way, where then you'll be able to witness the history of Earth with just a telescope. For instance, here we have Muhammad standing somewhere on Earth. For every second, light beams through individual photons are projected into space carrying his image. Unfortunately, Muhammad the very next second died from a peanut allergy. Mona has a ship that can travel 30 times the speed of light. She travels from the Earth to the direction where Muhammad's image went. Since her ship is extraordinarily fast, she easily overtakes the light beams containing Muhammad's image. She keeps on moving forward and stops at some point while his image is still on the way. Mona looks through a telescope, and a few minutes later the photons arrive and she clearly sees him standing on Earth and smiling, even though he had already died. Opinions on the likelihood of this are diverse. However, many astronomers believe that the spaceship will have to undergo dangerous physical changes in order to travel that fast, and even more interestingly, that the Milky Way will explode if one tried to travel through it with such speed. In the end, the theory limits the traveler to only witnessing the past, but not interacting with it. Another hypothesis on how to travel back to the past revolves around the general theory of relativity. It claims that matter curves the space in its vicinity, and with it are the properties of time. So a curved path through space can wind up being a curved path through time. This allows two straight lines of different distances to connect to the same points in space. Theoretically, it could allow timelines to curve around into a circle and connect with their own past. This is seen as possible through the proposed time travel machines called wormholes. It works in that one end of the wormhole is accelerated to the speed of light, and then brought back to the point of origin. Anything that enters the stationary end would exit into the past according to when it entered.